there is only God, which means everything we perceive, everything we seem to see.
It's all nothing. Those are all objects, and that's the dual world. But in deeper reality, only the nothing exists, which is really non-dual. Dual and non-dual are still dualities. So beyond that is the nothing. We call it non-dual, but there's still something that's non-dual. That's still something, but there's a place of nothing. You do not exist. There's only that. You see and feel the dance of the divine in all things. In the Kundalini, cashmere Shaivism, you see the dance of the divine, dance of the goddess Kundalini, but when you get beyond the goddess, it's all one again.
What drives some of us to realize this truth, this non-dual truth, or God itself, the reality of God, and some of us not to even contemplate the idea?
Again, that's an opinion. I began to ask the question, the meaning of death. And I realized there was no death for the self. It all disappeared. Beyond the meaning of death, there was no death and there's no life. There's only the nothing, which is non-dual or dual. It's neither of those. And that's just what happened. How does a 4-year-old know? How does an 8-year-old start having visions? How, when you're 16, you're driven to meditate and get the meaning of death? There's just evolution, and we're ready at different times in the reincarnation cycles that was talked about in the Torah, is talked about in the Buddhism, is talked about in yoga, is that we are reincarnating, and at some point you start to reincarnate at higher and higher levels, so you don't go backwards. I mean, you can. It's not the usual path. If somebody is at a different part of their evolution, they go deeper, and other people aren't there yet.
What is the goal of the work you do? You have been doing beautiful work, teaching what you know to be true in different ways. It's just really beautiful to see.
Early on, was in the 1970s, it was more to bring the awareness of, again, Kundalini and the anatomy of it and the meaning of spiritual life. At this point, I can't tell you there's a goal. It's just what is happening. It started with an idea to help people wake up. What's happening is that's just what's happening. So I try to go with the unfolding at whatever level of understanding. It's just like when I was with Swami Muktananda in the ashram in Ashbury, it was like, you're supposed to meditate an hour a day. Well, I'm saying, it was that naive. I asked, well, is it okay if I meditate 6 hours a day? It's making me do that. I don't really have a choice. And I thought that was very funny. Oh, do whatever the Shakti Kundalini is guiding you. So the answer is, the goal is, let my will be God's will.